Water. Without it, California would be a wasteland. But with it, there are forests and lakes, farmlands, and cities. And all of them depend on water. But there's a problem.
The problem is that California doesn't have a reliable natural water supply. We need water all year round.
But our snow and rain are seasonal. They usually fall only in winter and spring. Summers are cloudless and dry.
We can't depend on the amount of water we'll receive either, because it's different every year. We don't know how much it's going to rain this year.
Will there be a deluge? Or a drought? How long will it last?
Our natural water supply isn't evenly distributed across the state. The wettest areas are in the mountains in Northern California. But most of the people live along the coast in the San Francisco Bay Area and in Central and Southern California. The largest agricultural area is in the Central Valley.
What we need then is a way to make the natural water supplies more reliable.
A way to capture water when it's plentiful.
A way to hold it until we need it.
And a way to move it where we need it.
That's why water projects have been built in California. One of the most important is the California State Water Project. It's a system that's more than 600 miles long. The project begins in the mountains with runoff from winter's rains and snows.
Much of the runoff comes from national forest lands. These areas are managed by the United States Forest Service, so the quantity of runoff is increased.
Some of the runoff is collected and stored in Lake Oroville, the primary reservoir of the State Water Project, located about 100 miles north of Sacramento.
Water released from Lake Oroville and runoff from the Central Valley flow into the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Some of the water is lifted from the delta and pumped into a huge concrete waterway called the Edmund G. Brown California Aqueduct. The project delivers water to the Feather River area, the San Francisco Bay Area, the San Joaquin Valley, and Southern California.
Lifting water from the delta and moving it through the aqueducts is accomplished by a series of pumping plants. The biggest lift is at Edmonston Pumping Plant. The water is raised 2,000 feet across the Tehachapi Mountain Range. Lifting water requires power, lots of it. So as the water moves through the project, it's put to work, generating electricity in hydroelectric power plants.
Water lifted by the pumping plants and carried by the aqueducts is stored in reservoirs in the San Francisco Bay Area and in Central and Southern California. Pyramid Lake, which you can see from this visitor center, is one of the project's reservoirs.
The system of power plants, pumping plants, aqueducts, and reservoirs needs to be monitored and controlled constantly. That's the function of the Project Operations Center in Sacramento. It responds 24 hours a day to changes in water and power demand.
As California's population grows, the need for water increases as well.
We use water every day of the year.
That's why it's important for us to have water supply systems, such as the State Water Project.
To capture water when it's plentiful.
To store it.
And to move it when and where we need it.
The State Water Project, helping meet the water needs of California.